here, listening to Night Breeze, royalty-free nostalgia synthwave. It's copyright safe by White Bat Audio. Thank you, Carl Casey. So I'm getting ready tonight or today to go out with friends this evening. We're going to see a drag performance of Six or some kind of elements thereof. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't want to take away from all the performers or everything, but I also want to dress up and feel a part of everything. But I'm going to start by moisturizing. So I just have this really inexpensive moisturizer that a friend gave me that I find it's like a hand lotion or something, really. Like it's very creamy, very runny, and as soon as it hits your skin, it starts to sort of almost melts, like it gets even looser. But I find it really nice and moisturizing. But it soaks into the skin really well, and it does not leave any kind of greasy finish. So I found it was very similar in results to my Olay Super Serum. Now it is not remotely the same, but for an end result of what I get from this, I pretty much get from this. So that's just something I've learned along the way. Now, would the quality of the ingredients be the same or anything? No, but the end results and the price is what's more important to me, especially if it's not harmful. If it was harmful, that would be a totally different result. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some pore filler. I think I might turn that music down. I don't know how loud that is compared to my voice. Is that better? It's just meant to be background music for me while I get ready. But I'm going to have this. I have more, but I still have some in here. But these are, like, it's not creamy or anything. Like it stays dry. I don't really know how to describe this when I put it on, but it's crumbly and it tends to fall in places and stuff. So it's taken me a while to learn how to put it on the way I can get it to go on. Right? You kind of have to smush it down into your fingers and stuff. But I just want to fill my pores. My nose has big pores in it. It always has. But fortunately, due to those big pores, it also tends to not clog. I haven't really had, like I've been very lucky and blessed with my skin. I have not had any blemishes much my entire life. And of course, now I'm 60, so I've done very well. I've had less than probably 20 pimples on my face in my entire life. Now, I've had a couple of ingrown hairs. Sometimes when I shave, that usually is much more of a problem for me than anything else. But I don't know. Oh, I guess that music has stopped. Or let's put on something longer. Nope, that's not right. That's not what I was looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for. I'll put on that one. Just more White Bat Audio. It's a Neo Tokyo Cyberpunk Synthwave playlist. Oh, I did have it on. Yeah. So, where was I? Yeah, so I've been very fortunate with my skin. Now, my grandmother on my dad's side, she never went in the sun without like a big brimmed hat. Otherwise, she pretty much just avoided the sun. She washed her face exclusively with soap and water. She never used any creams or moisturizers or lotions, but it was just all very basic skincare, and she didn't do anything damaging to it any more than absolutely necessary. I tend to take after her in that respect. I'm not a big sun worshiper. My mother, she, God rest her soul, she was a big sun worshiper. She loved going to the beach and laying out in the sun while the rest of us would play and try and find shade. And she had naturally beautiful olive skin, so it would get very deep and dark in the sun. Now, she always looked beautiful, but as she got older, her skin started to look like leather. And I believe that was due to all of the sun that she soaked up when she was younger. I'm not entirely positive, but I do know that I have less wrinkles and that already at my age than she had at this age. So we will just take that for what it is, and I can't draw conclusions, but I can think that it was definitely influential. Now, I got 2 primers the other day, because I don't know, I haven't tried either of these, but they were both on sale, and I do like the Rimmel. I use the Rimmel BB cream, and it is by far my favorite. Very decent price, very effective product. So I wanted to try these. I've got a mattifying primer, or a fix and perfect, or a fix and perfect primer. I'm not sure which I should try. I think I'm going to try with the matte. That's what I'm going to try. Oh, so it's pretty creamy. It's not runny, that's good. But it's not thick like a paste. I've tried so many different products and all the different textures, and okay, I can feel a little tackiness with this, so that's kind of good. So I don't know where I want to put this on my face. Because wherever I put it on my face first gets most of the product, and then I can kind of work it around beyond that. But I don't want to like take it on, and I don't want it everywhere patchy like. So that is kind of what I decided to do with this. Now I do think that's already dry. That's pretty good. Now I think I'm actually going to put on my Revolution Sport Fix setting spray, and maybe that will help deter sweat from coming and breaking through. I'm just gonna use my foundation sponge and make sure that's in the skin. That's interesting. I don't know. Is this matte or not? Doesn't say. I don't think this one is matte. Because I guess I probably shouldn't have things that are doing contrary things, because that might not work out as well. Oh, my day is going well. Hello, how are you? I'm not accustomed to having to read these. This is all new to me, doing things live. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Okay, by lift and snatch, what color is this? Oh, guess it's the brunette one, so probably the most effective I can do. Not the best setup. Terrible lighting. This side of my face is really bright. This is my side of my face is in shadow. But We do what we can with what we've got to work with. And life is way too short to stress over something so silly as a little pigment on my skin. That's weird. Something came up on mine saying, add a Q&A sticker of weird foods you like. I think that's silly. Why would I do that? People are free to ask me whatever they like. The weird part is I don't even know what eyebrow shape or anything I want to do today. A lot of times that determines the end result in a big way. But I have had people ask me like why I shave off half of my eyebrows and then draw them on. But that's because I can change them. I'm not stuck with them. Which is also why I like to be bald and wear hats and hair hats and all kinds of things that way. I find just regular old traditional things very limiting for me. Well, they're not the same. I'm not even thinking that they're cousins at this point. Maybe they're adopted. But that's okay. Family is family. And I'm not a perfectionist as much as I do try to get things as perfect as I can. I know they're not gonna be, and I'm also okay with that. I find trying to get perfection when that's really quite unattainable to be very stressful. Okay, so those are on. Basics are done. So now I guess it's time to do the foundation. So again, I'm using my Rimmel BB cream in medium. I think there's enough there for me to do what I want. It really doesn't take a lot. I don't know, I'm trying to put the lid on an empty container. So I have this thing of water. This one is put down on the sponge, not on the product. There we go. So I normally do this before the eyebrows, but then I find it's harder to get the eyebrows to go on the face. So this is just a better technique I find for me. But then when I'm putting this on, then you have to avoid disturbing the eyebrows. So everything comes with its own challenges. So is everybody having a good day? I hope everybody's having a good day. It's nice here. It's a little cloudier than it's been, but it's breezy and cool, and that's nice. I'm really not accustomed to these live things. This is like maybe the second, possibly third thing I've ever tried to do. And I just figure it's easy. I can stick some music on in the background and just get ready and say hi to people. Oh, hello. How are you doing? I struggle to read this. Is that Wahi. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I can barely see it, but hello. I hope you're having a wonderful day. For anyone just joining, I'm getting ready to go to a drag performance of Six the Musical tonight, put on by Eden Moore. And it is one of my favorite musicals. Full disclosure, last year I had an idea to try and pull something like this together myself, produce it, do it, create it, whatever, I don't know. I had started taking notes, and then I noticed this is happening. And I went, oh, well, so much for that idea. I could just scrap that. But it may be nothing like what I was thinking of doing, so it could just be a matter of I will just go on and do what I was thinking of doing, because I don't have the expertise to pull it together so quickly as Alex does. And whatever Alex does is always wonderful in my eyes. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. Now, I've got my e.l.f. camo concealer in light peach, which I'm just gonna do a little highlight in some areas I want to highlight, and maybe a little bit in here, in here. I really don't know how made up I want to be tonight, because I do not want to be competing with the performers. I don't want to be taking, attention away from them, because I'm just an audience member. But I also like to, look appropriately dressed up like I'm there for the event that's happening. Show my support. The same way I would if I was going to any other theater experience. I'd be, dressing up in exactly the same way. So that's just what that is for me. My goodness, it is warm in here because I turned off the air conditioning and the fan so that I didn't have that competing in here. I think I need to use some more setting spray. Everybody's left. I understand. This is not exciting for anyone. I'm just experimenting with what goes on the YouTubes. Because I really want this to sort of stay in place. I'm hoping that, if I sweat outside, this isn't going to just be running everywhere. Because it's not like drag makeup where you have like it caked on and whatnot. This is just regular makeup for the fun of it. Now, I think I'm going to do a little eyeliner. I don't know what I'm going to do for shadow yet, so I'm just going to start with the things I know I'm going to have. And I know I'm going to have this on the bottom here, for sure, because that makes a difference compared to, see, there versus there. Makes a difference. Because that was my process for doing makeup, is find the things that actually make a difference on your face in a way that you like. And find out the things that make a difference that you don't like too, because those are what you need to avoid. But I will find what I need, what I like, and I like when my eyes are emphasized in a certain way. And I've tried them a bunch of different ways, and when you have a lot of light in here, it pushes your eyes further away. When you put dark in here, it brings the eyes closer together. And I don't want my eyes really to be much of either of those. I like exactly the spacing where they are on my face. So I learned the hard way that if I emphasize the wrong things. My eyes look really weird on my face to me. Other people don't seem to notice it as much as I do, but that's the way it is. I'm just gonna go underneath here. That because my lids are very hooded, and if I use eyeliner on the top of, like on the lid, it covers the entire lid. So this is just more effective if I'm not doing anything too extreme, which is the goal today, is to not do something too extreme. And then I tend to go a little bit along the lash line on the bottom. And I'm not trying to draw so much a line as just put a little extra color on the lower lashes. But that's pretty good. Now, I think I'm going to put a little... No, I don't want that blush like too dark. Do I have a lighter blush? I know I do somewhere. There you are. Okay, so I don't know what color this is. Blush Hour, it's the Profusion color in Paloma. So I guess Dove. Doll or Clown. I find if I don't sort of give it that little dabbing of the sponge, the spot stays too identifiable. And then I take and I sort of move it around with this nice dense brush. But it ends up looking relatively like a natural color. Because I'm not trying to look made up, even though I am. Don't ask me why I wiped under there. I've never done that before. That was new. So, I think I want a color of something, eyeshadow-wise. I don't know what. I wish I had something nice in orange. I just don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Oh, I do, probably. Because I've got my Flame Rose palette. And that could be good. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I've been playing around with makeup for the last few years. But I do have this palette here. So it's got some oranges. They might be brighter than what I'm looking for. But I'm going to test it out. It's just pigment. Because again, I'm not trying to compete with drag queens. I just don't want to look blah. That makes a difference. Excuse me. I just wish I had better lighting. I never really get to see what I look like till I take a picture of myself outside, or the bathroom lighting is different, but there really isn't a good way for me to do this there. I'd have to take too many things in. I don't know what means. Oh, that's a little bright. Oh well, gotta go with it now. trial and error. I do a lot more error in my trials, but it is how I learn. I'm a kinesthetic learner. I learn by doing. And I learn a lot more by screwing up than I do by accidentally getting a good result the first time. You know, okay. Let's bring that up there. I'm going to do that, bring it up. Set that aside for now. Where's my fluffy brush? Fluffy brush. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I try really hard not to be blah. But I'm definitely an acquired taste, as you know. But if everybody were the same, what a boring world this would be. Now, I don't know what else I want to do. I think, do I want to put I don't know. I want something lighter in the center. Let's see. Oh, what have I got here? What have I got here? Because I've got this Roxy Revolution palette with all the muddy colors that I have. But I think this light one here might work out well. I can barely see that. The color's there, but I can barely see it. How unfortunate. But I think that could be my crummy lighting. So it is what it is. It's a little better in there. I can live with it. Oh, I need my fluffy brush again. That way they sort of blend together. Kind of works. Now, I don't usually do too much with my lips because I have terrible lips. So unless I get into the drawing brand new lips on my face, they're not very good. But I do have, which one is this? Is this, again, terrible lighting. No, that's the maple. I want the maple. Oh, that's the maple. I should have been able to do that just by looking. So again, this is a Profusion, and it's a little lip product. It's like a glaze, a lip glaze. And this one's in the color Maple, which is like really like a very, very much a neutral on me. But it does still give a color, which I like. So that's what I end up using. The other one I have is, I think, Strawberry, which is nice too, but it's a little bit more on the pinky side, right? Is that what it is, right? I looked before, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Strawberry. And it is just slightly pinkier, just put a little of that in the center, even though it's not really going to make much of a difference. But it feels like a little bit more complete. Now, the only thing I have left to do, because normally I don't put it on, but today I'm going to put on mascara. And I'm going to use Scandalize Reloaded by Rimmel. I guess a lot of things I use are by Rimmel, not by intention specifically. Oh, don't get clumped. And again, I tend to do the outer part of my eye and not in by my nose. Just like that. That's what I do. So I hope people had at least a little bit of fun, interest, seeing what I do. And it has to be easy because I'm too lazy for it to not be easy. So until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.